twin turbocharged combination. Rod Chicory is owned to this car. He drove it to high school when it was a bone stock Cutlass and has morphed through the years into what is now the quickest and fastest street legal car in America. Believe it or not, that car on the AAA side of the racetrack is 100% street legal, tag and street driven. It has run as quick as 582 with a quarter mile at 250 odd miles an hour. On the other side of the racetrack is Jay Boddie. Boddie out of Northern California. This is a car that is built to compete in the Street Outlaws No Prep King Series, built by Larry Jeffers Race Cars. It is a turbocharger, again a twin turbocharged combination over there. And being a no prep car, what's interesting when they build these things, they are set up differently than a typical race game, less fresh rubber. So it'll be interesting to see how hard Boddie's car gets up on that wheelie bar. And it will be interesting to see if the dedicated race car can actually outrun the street-driven Oldsmobile on Rod Chicory. Shane Tecklenburg is the tuner on the Oldsmobile. Tecklenburg rather standing to the left-hand side of the car right now. I have to argue one of the most brilliant minds in North Slammer tuning across the world. He is a hot commodity out there, and this guy has really got a handle on this car over the last couple of years. Very unique machines out. You said he's owned this car since high school? He has owned it since high school. Boddie's car has problems off the step of the throttle, so round one of this streetcar shootout does go to the Sorceress of Rod Chicory. When it started to feed the power now, we could look down at the timing tower. It was kind of turning the tire pretty aggressively early, and then they really brought the boost in and it rattled apart.
Yeah, you can see that out there about 150 feet or so, got out of the front. Now, I'm not sure one of the guys on the radio told him, hey man, you're good. Don't get back on it. Even though it's no time racing, you still don't want to cross the center line. You certainly don't want to make contact with the wall down there.
That's a fact. You'll see these cars a couple more times this weekend, but round one of this shootout does go to Rod Chicory, and clean as a whistle, and like you said, radio communication probably let him know that there was going to be nobody chasing after him on the other side of the racetrack. And kind of a tough break there for Boddie. I'm not exactly sure what happened because it sounded like the car was healthy and he was going to make a rip, but it was out of power very early.
Yeah, it was definitely up against the turbos. You could hear it boosting and popping and banging when he bumped her in down there on the brake, but when it was time to go, the thing just, kind of went silent down there. I'm watching the Sorceress pull around the end, and I'm thinking, there ain't no way that thing's going to handle a speed bump. Now, it's got a little different configuration for the driver, right?
Yeah, so they can bring the ride height up some to get it down the road, but it does get street driven. And again, it is street legal, as we've seen this trend in racing, drag racing over the last several years with cars that can compete in drag week and can compete in Rocky Mountain Race Week and other of these endurance drag racing events. And the Sorceress is built on those principles.
Watch behind you, about to get run over there.
Nitro Blue wheel standing PT Cruiser. The standing tall PT Cruiser. Mike's been out several times. The LA Dark, we go all the way back to the 1960s. Wheel standers have been a part of this sport for way more than half a century now, and some of the best exhibition stuff we've ever seen on the drag strip comes from these wild wheel standing thunder.
Yeah, I feel like we're pretty cool. We like to entertain them out there, right? They're like this, like this. Yeah, like, I feel like you can't say anything out in front of it.
Performing certainly for the love of the sport out here in Nitro Mike, and you can get a look at this thing. I'm saying a big black shirt with an alcohol sitting in the back of the PT Cruiser body. He has that adjustable kind of skid plate thing. But yeah, hey pal with the propane tank, you get away from the other plant. I'm no rocket surgeon, but that's that'd
be cool. That'll be
you're gonna see him get up on that barge. The barge with those big shock motors on the back, so it doesn't try to bounce around.
Let's take a look at the snow pavilion. This is pretty cool.
My dad was killed in Iraq and he was in the Marine Corps. Knowing that I had an organization like Home Patriots that understood what it meant to be a veteran to serve,
The Military Power Series is an exclusive, limited edition offering of VO2 heritage dedicated to our military. It is the ultimate show of power and performance.
Let's go down to Joe Costello for the official unveiling.
Thank you very much, Alan Reinhardt. Of course, earlier this week, the United States Marine Corps birthday, and then Veterans Day this week. Vance and Hines has done something very special. Ladies and gentlemen, here at Auto Club Raceway, are you ready to see the bikes? Ladies and gentlemen of Vance and Hines, it is now time. Let's see these amazing motorcycles. How about that? The Military Power Series Limited Edition on display here with CEO of Vance & Hines, Mr. Mike Kennedy. Mike, such a great program. Tell us how it all came to be.
You know, Vance & Hines has been around since 1979, and the company's always about making power. And so we decided, because our co-founder was an Army vet, to do something special this Veterans Day. So we introduced this limited edition Harley-Davidson Heritage, one for each military branch. So each military branch, we have licensing agreements, and they're displayed on the rear end of these motorcycles right here. We announced yesterday on Veterans Day, and we decided to wrap these 3 motorcycles just for this event, to just build awareness for the great program. We've got a charity that we're involved with this program, Patriots, Children of Fallen Patriots. Every one of these heritages that we sell, $50 goes to that fund.
An amazing program, so many people involved in the NHRA. You mentioned Byron, his service. There's just something about drag racing and the services. My dad, a United States Marine Corps veteran. You guys have got a great program. How can people out there get one of these intakes for their Harley-Davidson?
Great question, Joe. These are limited editions, so there's not a ton of them available. You want to go to jnpcycles.com and buy one for your aunt, your uncle, your little brother, your big brother, your grandpa, or even for you if you've got somebody associated with the military.
And some of that money goes to charity. Amazing. Mike, great program. Let's bring in Terry Vance. Terry's always saying, it's not about me, it's not about me, but what a great program, Terry. Got to get you in on this. Obviously, Fallen Patriots, your charity. The 3 bikes look incredible. Tell me about being involved with this program.
Well, first of all, I got to know Joe, Mike and the team at Vance & Hines have been working on this for 2 seasons. So, I mean, last year they hoped to roll it out, but this year they actually got it done. Getting all of the branches lined up and getting the signing and everything that you need is really a lot of work, but they did it because the vests are so important. And, you know, for Byron Hines, he doesn't come to a lot of the races anymore. He comes to a few, but not as many. But for this program, he got excited. So I was really happy about that. And it's a great thing to do on Veterans Day and roll this out today and for the team at Vance & Hines to be involved. I couldn't be prouder.
I can't imagine the work and effort that went into this program behind the scenes, working with DOJ, getting it licensed, to use the logos of each branch of the United States military, and we've got so many people that are going to love this and be involved. Both of you gentlemen and the entire Vance & Hines team, thank you very much. Good luck on your amazing motorcycles here at the Auto Club Finals.
Thanks a lot, Joe. It's a pleasure. And it's always good to be here and come on with us at one time.
Absolutely, and Byron, thank you for your service. Ladies and gentlemen, these are your Vance & Hines motorcycles, and one of these bikes will be contending for the World Championship in the Camping World Series.
Brian, you can talk for a couple minutes. I'm going to go on mine. I've got a couple of drivers in Orangeville. The fact that they're donating $50 per sale to charity, I think, is even extra better.
You know, too, you just mentioned Byron Hines, U.S. Army vet, spent 22 months in Vietnam, and obviously this is something near and dear to his heart. So always great to see our team stepping up to support members of our armed services, and certainly on this Veterans Day week, really. We celebrated Veterans Day yesterday, and it's going to be a big part of what we're talking about this weekend. So we get ready to fire up this first pair of motorcycles, and what a great way to officially kick off our Camping World Series qualifying session 1.
It may not be Disneyland from an air standpoint, but I think the racetrack has shown us it's going to be pretty good.
You text that to me?
Yes, again.
Okay.
Yeah. I just, take a picture of my paper. He's the guy that gets into the extra
body won't eat the steering motorcycle.
Yeah, no question. When it spins the tires, you kind of move them one way or the other. And anybody rides a motorcycle, you just know instinctively. You're like going right over here. Left side, Steve Fitter. All the way from Maryland is Ryan Taylor. You'll probably have to start with the zero property and realize we are not the super first team.
We are already the season started off. Success, looking up, and these guys did so. It's been a tough season for these guys in the back end.
Yeah, you're right. And they're going to do their own program. They build their own engine, do their own testing. They don't necessarily have a plan. Some of the teams will ever give a little off. Okay, let's go over and check into our coach and see what we got to do. But these guys have always been successful with motorcycles, doing it their own way. And they're willing to take the lumps and learn, thinking that they'll be better on the other side. They don't have to share that information. Ryan's going to go to third of the three that are made it to the finish line. Kelly's going to come to a stop out there about 814 feet down the racetrack. We'll send a scooter out to get her machine through the top end. I'll come back tomorrow and have 2 more cracks at it as we get set for Sunday race day. By the way, I want to make sure everybody knows this. You're going to hear this a lot today and tomorrow. Sunday, round 1 top fuel is 10 a.m. Not 11 a.m. like it has always been in years past. So if you're planning on coming out here on Sunday, be out here. 10 a.m. is when top fuel will start. And you're going to want to see this. It's going to be fun. Obviously, we're going to have championships up for grabs. We're going to have a lot going on. And what that should do, if you can see me right now, you can see I got my fingers crossed and my toes crossed. And what that should do is allow us to complete the race before the sun goes down. And that should make it even more special. But 10 a.m. First pair of top fuel off the starting line. We'll start our pre-race about 9 or so. So just plan accordingly. We've got a little boost being given down there to Kelly Klotz as she will make her way out that short escape gate. And we'll bring up the next 2. Also been
speed is about where that bike normally runs at 197, 198 mile an hour range. But as it stands right now, after one session, Smith leads them all with Stouffer and Johnson out of the top three.
Yeah, Matt's got low ET, 201 miles an hour. He's the only one even close to 200 miles an hour. Karen's going to end up 2, Steve 3, Angel 4, Andrew. Number 5, Fred Camarena, Eddie Krawick, and Chris Prostock round out the quick 8. We'll see how the rest of the qualifying shakes out as we go forward in the weekend. And I honestly don't know, as I actually turned off the mic and asked Brian a minute ago, with only 11 bikes coming up for the first session. I saw who was injured in the race, but I honestly don't know how many of them are back in the pits that haven't run yet. And by the way, for those of you, the left scoreboard has been acting up throughout the course of the day. So Steve Johnson's math down there, 6.811, 197.39 miles an hour. Those always people look ridiculous.
Absolutely, and really, outside of that story, we have Scotty Polachek and A.G. Smith, which are definitely 100% playing the role of potential spoiler down there in the number 10 and 11 spots. So that's something to look at. Eddie Krawick sitting 7th. I do not believe that was, I don't necessarily think that was by choice. It did look like he had to hammer down unless he took it very close to the finish line.
Well, I mean, consider the fact that 196 miles an hour, he could have shut it off way too soon. I love strategy that starts in qualifying. You know, instead of just like throwing everything up in the air, then how many times have you seen somebody come in on Sunday and go, gee, I really hope somebody can beat Ryder X in early round. Why not try to take matters in your own hand?
And that's a double down for what we are going to see potentially here in Prostock. We'll get to that in a moment. We go down to the top end. It's Amanda Busick for Matt Smith.
With his wife, he's nailing in the background. Great job, Matt. You know the task at hand this weekend. You were not foreign to this spot right here in Pomona. How do you make it 5 championships for Matt Smith?
Just do what we did right there every time. Turn the wind line on, go low of the ramp, and we control it. That's what we did. I sleep pretty good because I think I'm a rainy champ, and
The only way I can go is up. And I can figure out how up I need to go to be where I want to be. I'm not saying they did it on purpose, but I am saying that I think there is an advantage with a good car like that to be able to come out of this first session to see where people fall and then start to pick your spot. That's just my 100% of what you're saying. I'm just saying there is something to being that last car on the ladder coming out of the second. And I agree. I don't think there's any boat. Put 2 boat cards in because this is going to hurt. I don't think that was the conversation.
Like now, man, established.
Because I'm living for it's a ball 28 seconds.
You got Marty Robertson now comes up to the left side. That's what a smooth running baby is supposed to sound like. Car mover back on the door. They still got smooth rock road on the front. That's the Halloween wrapped in one the best steering car. Like, okay, we'll try this, and then all right, here. Go through your routine, come on the car, get it second gear, come back to the chicken, try to run our gears. Back up. I don't know if it's just that hard, but it should. You're also not getting anything in second gear, stop. Go to the boat, open it, back up. Go to the down the door, all stop, time to lay on the floor, all the batteries, lay on the floor, all the stuff. It's got a handful of RPM, just back to the It's not looked at as like all the time. I've always had the open face up. You'll never convince a driver that's what we're doing for. Yeah, they may have got the result that they want to get. That's the strategy.
But for Marty Robertson and Alan Brzezinski coming up now, boy, Alan Brzezinski and Wayne Christine, the whole crew put on a great display out in Vegas. The car wrapped as the mystery machine. Every member of the team, being one of the Scooby gang. She was dumb.
And Christine said when he came over the trophy, he thought there was that's what he thinks. No, really, hold it. It's real.
Yeah, it's great. And Marty Robertson out of Fort Worth, Texas, running a unique Camaro out of the Motorsports game.
Well, I don't think he just did
So present, we're really going to be firing up this next pair. Right quick has Christian Quadra and Kenny Delgo. The Artisan Copy. Zenveo sponsor machine. Christian Quadra. First and Brown boots. Logos on the doors. Reports coming back clean from the racing surface. We'll find out who, when. We've got a full poll.
I think it could be, but I also think that, that it may be a case where guys are back there to fit, but they're going to set it off anyway. You know, it should be changed. I'm watching over there on Christie's side of the racetrack. But this is the place where you don't.
Camaro, force the lights up, raise the power, and total seal, Mr. Race. Camaro and Harper. So guys, you want obviously involved in that car, waiting for it standing up. Friday in Arizona, California. Look at the shape we see.
682 as they both roll